Alright, people, good morning. We are jumping straight in from 5 days a stranger to 7 days a skeptic. Technically, just a little bit further up in the timeline from the 20th century sensibilities of the first game. There's Easter eggs, there's outtake options. This menu reminds me a whole lot of Commander Keen. All it's missing is right here in the middle, being an option to play not Pocket Pong, wristwatch Pong. But I think we will play with the commentary on this time. We took a small peek at the commentary at the end of the first game, and it's got some humor to it. It interrupts every once in a while to give Yahtzee's thoughts in retrospect on the game. And one, I think it'd be cool to play with it, even if there's a little bit of spoiler here or there. But also, every time I played these games, I played them for the game, and so have never really taken advantage of the author commentary. So it'd be a cool thing. I say let's do it. And so how about we jump straight into it? Straight into space. What ho, chaps and chapatas? Aww. Spoilers ahoy in this commentary. Well, I figure that most of us are enough of an old head that very few of us should be spoiled by anything coming through here, right? F10 to turn on and off. I have not, in fact, played Poseidon 12. "40-odd years after Poseidon 12. So, does that mean then that Poseidon 12 is technically, what would you say, tied to the Jisho cycle? Welcome back to your personal interface, Malcolm. Hey, Swedish guy. Who's this Malcolm person? Good question. Something to do with the ending. Incidentally, Trilby's real name is Malcolm. Huh. I never knew that. Assuming you've seen the ending, the possibility arises that Malcolm is a protagonist's real name, where the sequence somehow... The sequence is how he gets the idea to pull his big scam. Could be Trilby Malcolm's ascendant. Neither seem lawful citizens. I don't know. First names, though. Plenty of Malcolms in the world, as many as there are Watanabes. Io Science Station disaster. Relaunch of Mephistopheles. New breed of salmon. But how's it going, Swedish guy? Scout ship Mephistopheles, first built 2328, relaunched yesterday after extensive upgrades. Assigned to map the... Oh, it's going by quick. Captain Barry Chahal, here the Mars riots, captain of Chahal's last posting before his retirement. One last post before retirement for good luck. Mephistopheles outfitted with obsolete technology. That's also a bit of foreshadowing for later. I guess the technology is pretty obsolete. You'd have thought they'd have improved the design of the escape pods. A bit of biting at himself there. If it was good enough for the 23rd century, good enough for today. 3 more days until small vacation. I'm happy to hear that, Swedish guy. Oh, so this is running normally? Great. I guess it's gonna be it for the stream then. Everything goes as normal. Space, the final frontier. Can't help himself. "7 days a skeptic. We've already got some increased production values going on here." Could you believe they fit the entirety of space inside a soundstage? Sometimes I get the feeling I don't belong here. I'm here on this ship, surrounded by all these veterans. And I'm terrified that someone will notice me and say I'm on the wrong ship. Keep having this weird dream that I'm in a room full of people with green skin. That's just Shigemichi from, and they just watch me, wondering what I'm doing there. Apparently people did. I'm surprised by that. What the hell was that if it wasn't foreshadowing? See, one of the good things about not participating in fandom all that much, even though I kind of wish I did more often, I do get to miss some of the more controversial aspects of fandom. I can't believe they stole the idea of the crew physician being a nervous, fresh-faced nobody from, what was it, 2023, 2024's The Pale Beyond? Stealing from 20 years of the future. I can't believe it, Yahtzee, what a hack. Doing most of the work in MS Paint, then pasting to Photoshop, scatter few light filters. Cool. Now my MS Paint art from back then was really awful. I might have like a sprite or two surviving in photo buckets somewhere. Got a Halloween resolution. In fact, I do, Swedish guy. Now that this apartment has swapped property management hands, there's a few more families around. Before, there was a neighbor right next to us that had a little baby. But now the, how do we put it? The political officer. The maintenance guy directly working with the property management company, kind of to be like an eyes on the ground. Lives here, has a kid, there's a few other families with kids. So I'm hoping that for once in my life, for once in my adult life, I actually get to distribute some candy to trick-or-treaters, and not just have a giant bowl of candy to sustain me through November and December. I have enough sweets in my belly. There's windows. So how do we do the verbing interface? Right-clicking. Oh, there we go. Improved on the 5 days interface, a lot with the verbs and inventory, the same place, 2-click system. Cool. Modeled from Nippon Safe's Inc. Or is the game he had in mind? Little tiny cancel button though. I was right-clicking around the outside, couldn't do anything but see him, so just click on the thing that I want, and there we go. Eyes, hands, mouth, and keycard. Gazing into space has become samey for me. What if I open the windows? They don't open wisely enough. Could I look through the files on my crewmates? Finished with work at the moment. Certificates? My diploma in human psychology and license to practice in an enclosed spaceship environment. Well, let's just go then. Let's get on with the game. Report to the conference room on the ops deck. By order of Captain Shahul. Grim. If you want to make good characters, make everyone's personality an extreme example of a particular trait. Adam tries extremely hard to be a joker. Angela, extremely boring. Serena, extremely stuffy. Well-rounded personalities are boring. Oh, look, if I go all the way up, we got music, sound. So already I can say the interface is much improved over 5 days. Coming up with a title before the game. A direct sequel set in an office building. It's not too far off, though. Like, Star Trek The Next Generation has been described as a very boardroom approach to sci-fi. Made a space game instead. Professor Chahul will turn out to be evil, and so we have Captain Chahul. Original characters thrown in to beef up the body count. Well, with all the space junk we put out, it's inevitable that something would end up someplace in deep space, right? So the smart thing to do would be to just let this one float on by. Dr. Somerset, an altered version of the Trilby sprite. Huh. Even the women just stuck on boobies and slightly broader hips. Consequently, Serena in profile kind of looks like his mom. And that's all it is. It's just that car that the Borer put into space once. No signs of life? Then keep on flying. Foreshadowing woo. Drop beacon, leave it for a fully equipped research vessel. Smart. Oh, come on, man, Captain. This is your last voyage before retirement. Do we have the option to tell him that we think this is a foolish idea, just tag the beacon and go on by? This is basic procedure, you should know this. Subtle clue. Do you think Yahtzee might have been a little bitter about people complaining about the ending? Stop by quarters for a chat if I like, to pass the time. Is that my way of saying? Their way of saying to go stop by his office? You can go straight to your quarters without talking to Barry. Change it to suggest it to me that the Barry conversation should probably be seen. Huh. Now, I'm just a psychiatrist, not a dentist, but he's already got plaque so bad it's coming out of his walls. And cool little map. Tubular design to the place, operations, observations. And everyone's left. They've somehow snuck right on by us. They took the other exit. Should we stop in? We might as well. Laziness won out in the end, huh? It's the future. Scout ships probably don't need much operation. Who says the captain needs a chair to sit on? Not the window. We don't want to talk to the window. Is that console as complicated as it looks? Not to her. Spent 4 years learning how to use it. What you think of the alien artifact business? The captain's attitude surprises her. Maybe he really wants one final hurrah. What do you think of the captain? Seems unprofessional. What if the captain has been replaced? What if this is a Dark Star situation? Enjoying your work? I keep putting my mouse cursor slightly high enough to get the top menu. Now there's a key card on this door. Panel for the door to the captain's quarters, the key card slot, a doorbell. Oh, there's a doorbell. What about the door to the right? Escape pods! A hatch to one of the emergency escape pods. So we'll just... in case any of the escape pod power systems become volatile. So we'll just prime these escape pods so we don't have to wait 7 hours to use them. Requires a pass card I don't have. Oh, how about the lever? Jettisoning an escape pod without due cause is a court-martial offense. I'm just trying to set us up for success for later, that is all. John Barry? Who's John Barry? In the original office block, 7 days a skeptic, Professor Charles was just a worker in the building who was working late and was sealed in with Trilby and Jim when Defoe struck. Now that sounds like a pretty cool idea he's got there. It's a shame that it turned out to be rather boring in execution. It was a terrible idea and glad it didn't do that. Could you remind me what our mission is? Pretend that this is our very first day on the job. What do you think the object will be? I don't want to make assumptions, and yet he's super excited to get into it. How are you feeling? We're gonna play the psychologist row for a bit. So he really does just want to go down in a blaze of glory. Well, he's going to get his wish. Concern for one of the crew. Gonna get some gossip in. Serena, so standoffish. Goes by the rulebook. If he's being retired out because he doesn't follow the rules, that sounds like upper management is just keeping things, too standard. Angela doesn't have any sense of fun at all. That our Vulcan stand-in then, the Ganymede alumni's. William thinks he's out of his depth. But if we learned anything from the Pale Beyond, doctors who feel out of their depths in their first posting have the potential to shine like diamonds if the moment calls for it. Adam acts so facetious at times. Every crew needs someone like him to lighten the mood. Unless you try to do that, and it turns out that all it does is annoy people. And they end up pushing back twice as hard. What about my own insecurities? What would they think of me? They hardly know me. Do you need me yet? Catch up some work in your office while I'm waiting? Sounds like the next thing I should do. Oh, I can't look around his office. Or his quarters. If it didn't kick me out, I was going to snoop on his computer while it was still there. Endeavor to use a starfield as much as I can get away with. I mean, it's a good idea. How fast are we moving through space? I'd imagine the background stars are going to look the same for a while. I admit it, that's pretty. Open the window! Consume the space. You come here often? Little moment to herself that we're now intruding upon. Nice view, isn't it? Oh, she's become jaded. How are you feeling? And then what do you think the object will turn out to be? You gotta get everybody's opinion before we go do our work and advance the game. Miscellaneous space debris. Better we find out that it is unimportant before wasting a large research ship's time. What do you want the object to be then? No life in the Caracas galaxy, but we got here. Surely something else could have. So who's next? Communal deck, residence deck, engine deck. What's in communal? Games room? Sick bay, resident physician, Taylor MD. Counselor's office. Oh, this sounds like progression then. Sucker, at no point of the game is coming into this room necessary in the slightest. He's saying there's no purpose to the games room, but I see a couple of arcade cabs. So it's already helping out my peace of mind. We're still civilized in this era. Love this game, but can never work out what to do with the disembodied brain in a jar. Spoken like a man who has never played the, what's the game that, the one kid plays at The Simpsons, the Tell Me More? Was that something with Andre? Centipedes. They're still playing Centipedes in the far future. Popular fiction for those with no sense of fun, huh? Simulates snooker, table tennis, Subuteo, pretty much anything. Does it do Hanahuda? Could we play some Space Koi Koi? What kind of drugs have you got, Doctor? William has the only key. William, give me that key. How are you feeling now? Now I forget most of the deets of the game. Is it going to be the nervous amateur physician who dies first? What you doing there? He's doing his homework, smart man. And what do you think of the alien object? But what about your sense of human curiosity? just gonna take a nap here, Doc? Speaking of awkward chairs, there's some construction going on around the pavement of this apartment complex. And even though it's out there, and the windows are all closed, at times it is so loud that it sounds as if there's a dental drill in my face right now. Lieutenant Commander Angela Garrett. Oh, there's two P's in a room. Hold on, who else is here? And Ensign who? Serena Langley. One name for this door, Dr. William Taylor gets a room all to himself, lucky. We're bunking with Adam, jokester Adam. This is going to be a very long tour then. No one in the house seemed to require food through the eponymous 5 days. Maybe it was ghosts. They were spectrally satisfied. A futile gesture as people are rarely satisfied. See, what dissatisfies me is that while the right click to open the verb and inventory menu is great, I want to just click off to close it. Yahtzee, you gotta go back 20 years to fix your games. The cancel button is so tiny now. We've advanced in video game paradigm interfaces. Jeffrey's Tubes, food dispenser. Takes material from the garbage processor on the deck below, converts it to edible matter. Hey, don't touch the door. Chisel Mythos, I got enough time at the end of October. We got just enough time to fit in the whole series, I think. Did you miss 5 Days of Strange? I'm afraid so. Don't touch the door. That was on Friday. Made quick work of it. I figure go at a pace of 1 game per day. You played all the games a few times. You and me both, Dorsby. These games first came out when I was a teenager, desperate for games online, and so various adventure game maker games like this and others were sweet honey to me. But it's been so long that while I might remember a few big things here or there, it's kind of semi a new experience since, what's it been, a decade since the last time, maybe even longer? Yeah, the decade was 2015, well over a decade since I last played. So, I'm gonna have to relearn a few of the puzzles. Weird machine going wrong sound from Half-Life. Most of the sounds of this game were taken from Half-Life because I'm a busy man, damn it. Though this is my first time actually playing with the author commentary, since I haven't 20 years of playing these games, and I haven't played with the author commentary once, I don't think. Valve are a bunch of chauvinist swines. No women in Half-Life, ah. This might surprise a few people, but I've never actually played Half-Life. Oh, I got a cool shadow effect going there, but that's not going to come into use later. You're a big fan of Yahtzee's games as a teen, played 12-13 and whatever you can get for Odious Kent. I enjoyed the games that I did play, but I can't say I've been through the entire library. As a teen, I loved the games I could get my hands on, and as I advanced into my young adulthood, I ended up getting busy with so many things. And by that point, I had my own disposable income. And so I didn't have to rely so much on the freemium stuff. And eventually, you know, things fell off on keeping up with the whole, oh, there's a panel here. Screwed on pretty tightly. Though I did play a little bit. What was that other one he put out? The Consuming Shadow. I played a little bit of that roguelike back when it was still pretty much a work in progress, but I never got around to playing the full version. I'm kind of planning to end this series of chill games with getting around to it fully. It's pretty expensive on Steam though. What's the price at now? 99 cents. Hopefully it goes on sale for the Halloween season. Take another look at the personnel files in case this is a first contact scenario. And we can't! We're dragged away from our work as soon as we get to it. Typical, isn't it? We go to the cargo bay and it's empty. We start going to work. And before we could even sit down, graced us with his presence. I was here before they were. I literally just left this room. These Johnnies come lately. Buy the book was put a beacon and leave it for the next guy. 2385 and they're still playing Arcade Centipede. No radioactivity, remarkable for floating in space for so long without any kind of atmosphere. A plaque they all somehow managed to miss. Here lies John Defoe, finding a rest, don't disturb his sleep, 1997, a little Trilby icon. The ghost didn't have a name, just the ghost, because his father didn't acknowledge his existence long enough to name him. Trilby would give him a nice, generic name for the sake of his records. Does this make Trilby his godfather, technically? Who indeed, ah ha ha ha. I've seen some people have some neat, like, iconographic signatures. Or they can do like original plan, put a beacon on it, set it back out into space. Clearly, whoever this was buried in space, right? So we're desecrating remains then, by just pulling this on board and keeping it here. Yeah, a lot of people buried in space at the beginning of the 21st century. Now, what we gotta do is start burying people in space before the need for it, you know? Like kind of a pre-burial in space, if that's an option. Monday. A reference to The Ring, by the way, the original cool Japanese one, not the crappy Hollywood remake. Spit on Hollywood, Spit 2. You see the things we would have missed out on if we didn't play with the commentary on. Which also means the things I've been missing out on for the past 20 years. Though I do have a confession to make. When I was a teenager, I was skittish enough that even the American Ring movie did actually freak me out a bit. Lock on the right, I can't open it in the game. He drew something behind the door, thought he might use it, didn't come to pass. Take an exclusive look at Adam's locker. Make it all worth the $5. An even more esoteric reference to when these games used to cost money. But yeah, the ring used to scare me. I was a kind of I was a kind of gullible sucker that actually entertained the idea of, oh no, what if this whole business is real and this is their way of broadcasting this little spooky curse to everybody else? Requires a key card. How about mine? Oh, they both do. Key card? Adams. Key card? Psychology textbooks? Toilet? He's just woken up. He doesn't. He's not a. He's not a first thing in the morning pooper. Does he not know how dangerous that is? He's just leaving up his poop chance to chance. Finding it very difficult to talk to Adam right now. Why aren't the engines running? Temporary power outage. She's so nonchalant about that in space. I would think that a power outage of any length of time would be death of us. Waiting for the emergency systems to kick in. I'm worried, Adam. What if they don't? How are you feeling? Like we can't tell that he's being an absolute chuckle fuck right now while the systems are down? I think our ship's engineer could use a bit more urgency. If power's down, does that mean I can't use the elevator? But the doors work, and the lights evidently work. The elevator is not working. In case of emergency, the elevators are out. If the engineer is under the engineering deck, sucks to be us. Then I guess I'll grab breakfast after all. Dispenser currently set for breakfast. Full English, continental, or the cancel breakfast? What are the continental? Oh, it's in my inventory. Breakfast? An excuse to leave us with butter. Power still out then? We got nothing to do? Anybody else home? Since we're stuck here on this floor. Nobody home. Nobody home. I really am just stuck with Adam then. Start of the game, we're already in the worst case scenario. Can't work on it, the doors won't open. How did this ship survive to the 24th century? What about the elevator shaft? I feel like the crew of the Dark Star is slightly more professional than this one. Jeffrey's tubes? Screwed shut to prevent people like me from ruining the ship. Alright, time to find our first screwdriver. So my locker has nothing. Can't take the clothes, can't take the books. Wrench set. Wrench set, so now we could take the Jeffrey's tubes. Bye, Adam. Gonna be doing your job for you now. What are we doing? His job. Actually, literally doing his job. Okay, Malcolm. Sorry. Okay, John, all you gotta do is shimmy your way up here. Scrunch your shoulders, crawl up this way, and you can get up to the wreck floor. No one can hear me click everything. But I gotta click louder then, don't I? Too dark to make out. I would think that the darker it is, the easier to make out. Lodge the elevator mechanism. And with this sword pulled, I am king of the ship. Stuck between the two components, some lubricant might help. So the purpose of eating breakfast was to provide me with the lubricant to pull this out. An old-fashioned bladed weapon with bloodstains. How did that get there? Ghost, keep playing the damn game. Alright, Yahtzee, I'll play the damn game. It's a machete. Nice of the elevator hatch to wait till after come out to close. Just how are you feeling or see you later? We can't shoo him out for doing his job for him. Adam, we found this lodged in the elevator. What the heck? I don't know, Adam. This seems pretty suspicious. We find this bloody machete lodged in the elevator. And you have been very nonchalant this entire time. Almost as if you didn't want me to investigate and find this thing, your thing. Gonna be walking to all the places we haven't got to be first. And the box remained open. And inside the box, completely empty. Not gonna lie, Swedish guy, when my boyfriend got me to playing Dead by Daylight, I did pay extra to get Pinhead as a character to play as, and he's basically become the only killer that I play as. Maybe it's because they have lines like that included in it to really add to the atmosphere, but I feel like that was a good idea for a character pick. Even if it turns out that I really, really sucked at the game for as long as I did play it. There's a problem with the ship. Did you open the box first? Oh, we should have scolded Adam. I bet we could. What box? There's a box in the cargo bay? There's a problem with the ship. And how did you get in here with the lifts were down? Maybe it was his doing all along. He used the elevator, got in here, slammed the machete into it. Nobody tells this guy anything. He works all through the night. And this is our bone saws. Our bone saws is not getting his required sleep. A bit tired, huh? Okay, Doc, you're the physician. What do you make of this? Ketchup or blood? He does know that I'm carrying all sorts of germs spewing out of my mouth every single time that I talk or respire, right? The sterile environment isn't staying sterile very long. Even with him just in it, shedding his skin flakes everywhere. Nobody in my office. Okay, let's scold Adam. Didn't have the chance to scold Adam yet. Did you know that the box is open? He's acting dodgy. Engineering deck and no one because Adam doesn't do work. Came from here, went to there. Observation deck first, nobody here. Ops deck, final three people. Nobody at the billiards table. Captain's missing. Our final voyage until retirement captain is the first victim then. So they were here, doing their jobs. Then the power went down, huh? Then the machete, the bloody machete appeared in the elevator. See if I could find Adam. Adam is on his third helping of breakfast. Serena's last name seems to alternate depending on the source between Langley and Kyle. Really? Getting confused after watching Batman Returns. Schumacher claims another victim. Wait, no. Returns was... No, that was Tim Burton's second one, wasn't it? Who saw the captain last? Yesterday evening, bade each other good night. Heading to the elevator. Has anyone tried to get into the captain's quarters? Security can only be overridden from his console alone in his quarters. This is such a very well-designed ship. Do you think we should be worried? Very laissez-faire approach to the stability of the ship we're depending on for our life in deep space. What's wrong with Kamo? Ask Adam when Adam found something in the elevator shaft. Could have gotten in there at any time. You know, machetes just do that. They materialize in the mechanisms of things all the time. How are you guys holding up? At least they both count for this conversation, so I haven't got to ask them both of them the same questions. Oops, I skipped through accident. Her silly concern. We don't know what it is now, we can't go back to it. Somebody open the box. Anything working yet during the course of the conversation? No. So that's everyone but the captain, and the captain won't answer his doorbell? Won't answer his doorbell? So I'll just have to fully dismantle the door with my wrenches? Don't think so. Pods are all still here. I don't think I'll be finding the captain. So how about we go talk to Adam? See if he feels like doing his job yet. Or if he just wants to advance from breakfast to brunch. The communicators also weren't working. Is he not going to care about that either? Foreign object lodged at the communication pylons, top of the ship. So does he, yeah, does he want to get up and do his repair job? It's all speculation. Does he want... Why don't I go outside and yeah? Why doesn't the ship psychiatrist go out and maintain the physical material of the ship and not the engineer? Why don't you come, Adam? And wouldn't I be wasting the time and the oxygen tanks anyway? Spring chicken, glass half full, happy little bunny, and yet, he's being very out of character right now for someone who's supposed to be the jocular jokester. Now, where was this airlock? The two doors next to the cargo bay door? Oh, look at that, he got some sprite scaling. The further back he goes, the slightly smaller he gets. Leads to the operator's booth for external grappling claws. Airlock? The inner airlock door. Now hold on. Am I able to completely screw myself over here? Put this count as day 1, day 2, put as Monday. Could I open the door and shuck myself out to space? Safety lock is in place, won't open. Ah. Close the switch first. Now? Could I shuck myself out into space if I've been cautious? I can! You actually can get proper game overs. I don't know if it was possible to the first one, since it was so simplistic that even if it did have game overs, you could avoid them pretty easily. But there we go. First death of the game. Close this switch. Open the closet. Get my Evangelion suit. Rate and pressure, oxygen and hard vacuum. Into the suit we go. How thoughtful of Valve to include breathing sound effects with Half-Life in case someone wanted to use it for this purpose. We have a clip. Better observe all safety precautions. You fell off the ship at a drop of a hat out here for making the slightest mistake. Then I remember my name is not Roberta Williams. For your own safety, please ensure that your suit is firmly clipped to the safety rail before proceeding. Safety rail it is. And safety rail off. Phew! Should we go down before we go up? We can in fact go down. The cells emit plasma exhaust. Cheap Yahtzee, very cheap. I can buy it. It's leaking plasma exhaust, but only at half volume. If the engines are fully out, it'd be a whole lot more spectacular, right? Can't go any more right. Yeah, I'm the counselor, but our engineer said you do it. Also, I thought Kama was down. You're enjoying the heavy breathing, Gregory? It's like doing an ASMR stream without having to do the breathing myself. I get to save my breath. Good news, bad news. We found the blockage. Tuesday. Got to skip an entire day with that. Do we know that for sure? Some complained he couldn't pick up the machete while the monsters were roaming around, use it to kill them. I mean, we found him impaled to the spikes. Went outside to try to escape, but the killer was very determined. We're making a lot of assumptions here. Maybe he went outside because Adam wasn't doing his job, and then he got a little bit of pokey poke on the communication spikes. This roundtable discussion about who killed who is inspiring. Imagine if they made an Among Us style game, but in space. Somebody's a skeptic is a stupid title. The main character isn't skeptical at all. Prefers the others, but none of them live for 7 days. What I get to yesterday? Just floated in space all day. I mean, we do still have lots of mushrooms we haven't consumed yet. But I feel like my space travel days might be behind me. Very suspicious, Doctor. As the discussion gets more heated. Also suspicious, Engineer. As someone goes off, you're immediately putting blame on them, putting suspicion on them. I should replay Nausea. Or I guess Gnosia, as the anime calls it. Now that the anime of Gnosia has come out, I really have been put into a mood to replay it lately. It's pretty amazing how 3 episodes in, the anime has really captured the feel of Gnosia. Right down to Shiggy always eating shit because he consumes suspicion so easily. Should I call you Captain now too? Though we have confirmation the Captain's dead? Proper hearing get that's not a big question though. Proper hearing won't come to place anyway, but for now, acting captain, right? I wouldn't say it's in poor taste. It's about what is it? Like cohesion and chain of command. Sign of the good crew to function as an event. And between Adam and Barry, we're already not functioning all that well. Do you suspect anyone? Did you have a bad feeling about the locker? Miscellaneous space debris that people start disappearing and dying after it's open. Yeah. Dies the same day bring it aboard. Engines also, yeah, that's two data points now, Captain. Responsible for the crew's mental well-being, we're doing a very good job of that. Why won't he come out on Ava? I had to do his job for him. Did he know the captain was going to be bloodied up there? I've worked with people like this. When we have a shared responsibility, as soon as I do the unpleasant task once, it's, well, you've already done it, you're pretty good at it, and I'm not going to do the unpleasant thing, you can do it now. There's no shame being scared, Adam. So it was my next task, to probe in on William's attitude then. Who am I to judge him? The psychiatrist. The ship psychiatrist. My job here is kinda to smoothen down his edginess going on here. Could I get my knife back? Machete? Machete? If everyone says it's old news, I'll just take this away then. I better not touch this evidence. Damn it! Yeah, so could I. So could, yeah, any of us. Any of us could have been the imposter. If it was one of us, it was obvious an act of random lunatic violence. We don't know that. It could have been targeted. Needed to remove the blockage from the radio masts. We skipped straight from Monday to Tuesday. And didn't even take Barry down. We just left him up there. And there goes the big dental drill cutting outside again. It's what he would have wanted. He did want one big final voyage before retirement. I guess this way he gets to see the stars. Let's see how old William is doing. He's not in his office? He's not in his office, that means Drugs cabinet is completely unguarded. But William has the only key. He's not playing Centipede, is he? No. Panel? Screwed on tight and I have a wrench set. I don't think so. Damn! You did put harvest any organs you might have that could help someone, then shoot your corpse into space on your will. Isn't that normal? Well, see, Gregory? When it's like, oh, well, burial in space is really popular around the start of the 21st century, we could have figured it's just human remains that leave it off in space. But no. These guys had to be nosy. They had to stick their nose into business that wasn't part of their mission. He's got his own room, the lucky devil. Leave me alone. We're the best psychiatrists. Adam is spooked enough to lose his sense of humor and refuse to go out onto the airlock to do his job. Physician Williams is now locking himself up. Crew cohesion is at an all-time high. Door number 1, door number 2. Door number 3. The body was gone. They could have withdrew the masks yesterday, and then we could have just brought the body back in ourselves. Well, bye, Captain. You're floating off in space now. Clonk thump. That's just a sound of her having as big a teacup as I have and dropping it a bit too loud on the desk. I'm still clipped in. Wrong button! I was gonna fly off for pressing the U's instead of the clip. You know, maybe giant spikes for... One, maybe giant spikes for the communications array wasn't the best of ideas, but two, I wonder if I could also kill myself by leaving the door open and then opening the closet to get out of the suit. Can I? Or is it going to be, this won't work unless I close the doors first? I could open the door, take my suit off with the external door. No, I can't do it! If I'm gonna have giant spikes, definitely make sure they're very sharp and shoot out aggressively. If only there was some way that they could use, like, a microwave dish, or some kind of omnidirectional shaped thing, or maybe even a singular mast with branches coming off. But what do I know? I'm no engineer. Could I walk around in just a Eva suit? Nope, he walks right back in. They are not to be taken away from the airlock. But we just had two sequences where he took them away from the airlock. Outside, but still. That cool sprite scaling. I remember back when I was playing a lot of Adventure Game Studio fan-made stuff that, like, I wouldn't say fan-made stuff, like little indie amateur stuff, that there was one game that I played that was really cool, except that the scaling was pretty extreme. Your guy would, like, shrink and embiggen so much, just walking barely into the background. It's a cool effect, but very clearly it took us a while to figure out how to make better use of it. We're gonna ask you the exact same thing. We heard the clunk thud. Do we just push a button? Is a button all we gotta do? Only she and the captain knew the communication code. Really? Gameplay or story? Leaving in silly plot holes for the sake of better gameplay? Would have made for a very easy puzzle if it turned out that the first officer knew a piece of the information. No, imagine multiple people knowing how to run the ship. No, the interruption was her just dropping a big fat deuce and then realizing, oh no, there's still more than running to the bathroom. Barry's corpse was gone, Commander. Excellent. No, no, not in that sense. Please learn to apply logic more often. She's kind of Vulcan in that sense, but even with Vulcans being like, oh, you must apply logic. Logic is the absolute. Logic isn't always good. Logic is just a process of thinking and coming to a conclusion. You could use logic for pretty much anything. Lots of terrible things, lots of mistakes are logically considered. She turn up yet during the course of this conversation? Adam, you've been staring at that knife for a long time, Adam. Did you move Barry's body? You stutter, and that means he did. Went to the bridge. Well, she's not there now. That's malingering, Adam. That's also a court-martial offense. He's malingering. He's performing a dereliction of duty. He's misappropriating his crew resource of the self. She hasn't come by for a psychiatric visit. She's not playing Centipede or My Dinner with Andre. She at home? Not at home. William more eager to talk? He is not. Nobody hiding in my place. She had to use the bathroom. Did she use my toilet? I don't need to, but she could be in there. For all I know, maybe all the toilets are connected. Stranger things have occurred with this ship. I checked observation, right? Nobody's in observation. Oh, and there goes Barry floating by in the background. No. She's not rigged up. The towel rail. Could I take you now, towel rail? I don't want it. Take the sink. He moves towards the sink to take it. I don't need to. Oh. To use it, not to take it. Panel box I can't use. She's not here. Not there. Do I want to bother going back out to the airlock? Man, the final confrontation of this game, when these cargo bay doors open up and the Omega Metroid crawls on through, completely unexpected. The first time I saw it, it blew my mind. She's not going to be inside. Or out here. What about the captain's keycard? Commander mentioned they could try to find the captain's logbook. So, maybe at this phase of the game we'd be floating about. Get the ASMR back in. No, there's nothing up here. Nothing to the left. Nothing to the right. So coming out here could have been a waste after all. Oh, what do we got? What do we got? Keyring? I'll need to move closer. Is this gonna be a puzzly thing? Because I don't think I could reach that. I'll have to, like, unclip myself and then reach on down, wouldn't I? I can't get a good look over the edge that I'm attached to the safety rail. Alright, unclip. And then fall to my doom. Keycard on a ring, caught to one of the components. You could reach this, right? He's about long enough, maybe? Oh, we got a clip of our own. Instead of... I could probably reach down and get a game over. We're gonna be smart about it. Clip. Luckily, it turns out that John here is a master angler. It's courtesan. Still no Serena. Hmm. We hear a thunk, and then who's here afterwards? Alright, Captain, first things first, we gotta snoop through your computer. Go through your browsing history. Welcome back to your personal network interface, Barry. No new emails, no news items. Help. Email, news, date, Captain for access override functions. Okay. What emails has he got? No new emails. News? No news item. And apart from Captain, what else is there? Date? 29 July 2385. Menu? It's just there. Alright, Captain override. Please enter my 6-digit override code to access the intra-ship functions. Gotta puzzle it out. Anything under the pillow. It's not done to sleep at a dead man's bed. I want to snoop in his bed. See if there's something under the pillow, under the mattress, behind the bed. Many technical texts. Drawers are locked, of course they are. And the bin? Paper wastebasket with any useful tools or clues? Empty. It's not done to use a dead man's toilet. Oh, we got the code book. That's 25 numbers. Oh, I got a response back already? The name of the nerd from Freddy vs. Jason. One of the few horror fans that like the film. "5 days travel. 5 more days to go. That's gotta be what? 7 whole days. 7 whole days on the ship? There's what, 4 of us left? And 3 escape pods? Someone will have to double up. So somebody might draw the short end of the stick. Or it could be safe if we just take all the escape pods right now. We could sit and wait. Just saw the captain. So we had a few more holes in him, it's fine. How about we check it out? And if it's nothing, then we'll give him a psychiatric eval, and if it's something, we'll figure out what logical explanation there is. That is a logical captain. God, this character annoys me. That's your own character, Ben! Oh, we got some creepy piano coming up for this revelation. Dog wielder from Garth Ennis's Hitman Sirs. I don't know that one. Well, sure. Doesn't stand still and breathe heavily anymore. Is not... Well, this is a dream sequence, right? So he's not possessing anybody to necessitate mortal respiration. Good news is, only 4 more days now. Captain's dead, Serena's missing, William locked up in his room. Logically, she is spending a very long time in the bathroom. He just had to finish dipping another person into acid. Technically, Adams also found Barry in a more alive state. Well, Bill, that's because nobody else is going all over the ship actually working their job and everybody else's job. Would have been Adam finding the body if he was willing to do his work. There's always one person in Among Us who tries to play detective so hard they get everybody else killed. Convinced AJ was responsible for the weird stuff. Har, har, hardy, har, har. If only we had some kind of psychiatrist on board to maintain the mental well-being of the crew. Just gonna hold on 5 days, keep a stiff upper lip. That's his professional psychiatric opinion. Okay, let's take this machete for self-defense now. People keep going missing. I can't protect myself with a bunch of wrenches and 3 key cards. Serena. Oh, there you go. She's all right. A lesson we failed to heed for most of this game. That's alright, Ben. You're only 2 games into the series. I think I saw Serena in the hallway. Logically, you are simply having a mental breakdown. Self-cleanup programs, who needs security logs anyway? That's taking up space. Adam knows something. He's very scared of something. He's very unwilling to go outside. Fear to the point of dereliction of duty, when we all are possibly more... What is it? We're more beholden to his tasks than anybody else's, since he's supposed to be keeping this thing running. When the elevators break, when the engines go down. It is only logical for everyone to be illogical. There's probably nothing to do with the captain's quarters for now. We could try to break into his computer, but we haven't got the code to get in. Plus, if Serena shows up in the elevator, it probably wants us to follow her. Adam? What are you doing here, Adam? Are we doing a Dark Star thing here where you like you to stay up in the observation pod, away from everybody else? We're supposed to be looking for Serena. Is she out there floating in space? Like he imagined Barry, so maybe there's something to this then. We team up, see what's up with this. Adam, did you open the locker? Communal deck? Now, I know the commentary said there's never any reason to go in here. Kind of like the toilet in Spirit Hunter NG. We gotta check anyway. We can't just take the author commentary at a face value. William's actually doing his job today. Have you gotten over your anxiety? As a psychiatrist, this is his one tool of the toolbox. Did you get over it yet? Any ideas what's going on? Bit rate, you doing okay there? We got yellow instability, 3000. There's some drop frames. I'm half expecting power to go out at any moment when they do their groundwork outside. Because the entire point of all that construction outside that they're doing this week is supposed to be upgrading something about the electricity. So don't be surprised if at some point this week stream just blinks off intermittently. Seen Serena lately? Remain optimistic. People are either murdered or missing. The amount of crew is dwindling. But you know, we gotta keep a stiff upper lip about it. Nobody ever comes to office hours. Is this how my professors feel? I'm so hungry I haven't eaten for 2 days. Very subtle hint for what to do next. Added that phrase to push people to the right direction. A lot of people complained they didn't know what to do at this point. Well, if we're just trying to find people, complacent to stop after adding the phrase. I'd give you a lot too much credit. At least putting the phrase, man, I'm hungry, is a push in the right direction. At this point, if I'm just going to the food dispenser and clicking use on food dispenser, that's if I'm on full on, what is it? Just full on try everything, click everything mode. We're going to pretend we're still looking for Serena first. Anybody at her door? Nobody home? Nobody home? Nobody home. Not even I'm home. Well, gee. I guess we'll get something to eat then. A standard lunch? I don't even get the option. I can't believe the ketchup machine is broken. It's covered in something. Only lets me have one meal at a time. At a time. It can tell. Should I wrenches on it? Try to prise it out? No, I've heard of a man-witch, but this is ridiculous. Could I try to prise out more of Serena from there? One body part at a time? I don't think so. So, who to bring this to? Should I bring it to William to confirm who it is? Should I bring it to the commander? Hey, Doc. I know this is a sterile environment, but what do you make of this? I need your opinion on something. This is a hand, right? Where did I find it? Sounds like someone who thought he hit it better. It's because someone needs a hand. We're already helping everybody out. We're practically the ship's gopher. If I use ultraviolet light, I'd be able to find traces of human bodily fluids. He doesn't know if it's accurate. Just saw an episode of Monk once, where they shined purple light around and stains appeared. The dispenser does break down garbage into food, right? So maybe somebody was less cautious about where he's disposing of bodies, William. Better leave the hand with me. Very suspicious, William. We haven't told the commander yet. What if we run to the commander first with the hand? I think she might want to know about this. Hey, Angela. We can't tell her just how are you feeling, see you around. We found a hand, we gave it to William, we're searching for blood stains to see where the rest of the body is. To the Jeffries tube? Wait. Thought I saw something. Turns out I was wrong. Vent? Where are you gonna go to? The arcade? Oh, past the arcade. For those moments that kind of confuse people. What's Serena doing walking around, which is clearly being which is spooky stuff. You don't gotta explain spooky. Either the ghost or the wielder trying out an early prototype body that had Serena's head. Cleared the scene without deciding what they meant. General air of confusion and horror. Confusion's good. I'm of the opinion that the less you explain, the better. Inside, please. William could vouch for me. We found a body part, or we're trying to find the rest. Again, if Adam was doing his job, he would have been involved in the finding of the first body. Parallel to the first game. Simone Taylor locks you up with a shed in 5 days. And here it's Angela doing the same. Could I get the towel rail now? She let me keep my lunch at least. Could you believe that this holding cell does not have even a toilet? They expect you to use a sink. You can't even say it's an off-screen toilet because that's not a very wide wall. Unless they have like a little squatty hole or a trough. There's not really a toilet you could fit there. So, poor John here can't use the toilet, but I'm going to. Been about 2 hours of stream now, so let me get to this. And then, we've only got a few days left, right? 3 some days or so to go. We could try. Should I try fitting 2 games into today? Because if we finish this in record time, we could start on, what was it, Trilby's Notes next? Either way, gotta make myself some more hot cocoa, get some more water, and then we'll be back to finish this. Nope, no more defuse. Back from BRB, got my cocoa, got my water, got Toasty nearby, having woken up from his nap. So let's get back into it. Locked up in the holding cell, we got a towel rail bloody lunch, 3 key cards, and the ability of human speech. This is a blatant abuse of power. And as soon as I come back, the bitrate takes a small break. The prime suspect? I'm the only one moving around trying to do stuff. I'm afraid as counselor, I must relieve you from duty. Applying our own logic here. Gives the power to hold suspicious individuals up to 7 days in the event of a serious crime. Well, I'm skeptical of that. 7 days of being held? A skeptic? But I didn't kill anyone. Well, that's not very logical, Commander. What if it was Adam? What if it was William? They're both out there still. I was outside when Serena disappeared. Is that not true? Adam could back me up on that. He is the one who cleared my sus with William. Angela, while I'm in here, the real killer's on the loose. Yeah, she did forget between... Who do I pin down for the real killer? William, Adam, the captain, somebody else on board. Could I explore all these options? What about William? William has been acting pretty shady, hasn't he? We're the only one we told about the hand. Does she know about the hand? That's not very logical. She's being very illogical with this. What about the locker? Nothing but useless space debris. What if the body inside was diseased and we got Hinamizawa syndrome now? How much longer? Noon on Sunday. 3 more days. We got 3 more days of game to go. While I'm here, the real killer is on the loose. What if it's Adam? My best friend Adam? She's not buying it. What about the captain himself? The captain not so dead after all? Technically, we saw a bloody Eva suit, right? Barry saw him, though. Only other option, then. Somebody else on board. Maybe somebody was in stasis in the locker. Or they weren't physical. This could be a first contact situation after all. If non-physical beings existed, they cannot murder corporeal entities. Says who? Big, horrible, lumpy flesh monster to the killing, but idleness prevailed. Just take the existing Captain Sprite, bloody him up a bit. Less horrific, more creepy. Some people complained this bit was too difficult. Shall now make it easier by offering helpful encouragement. Encouragement isn't guidance. Get the gun and shoot him, you big lemon! What's wrong with you? Gun. Gun. This is the first getting chased by a monster sequence of the game. Included as a response to someone saying there wasn't much in the way of serious danger in 5 days, and that is true. 5 days is a pretty chilled adventure game, all things considered. They put these bits in and everyone complains. Like the fickle little bastards you are. Now, let's not spoil too much. Here's a little clue. Lure a barrier into the reactive room, blat him with the towel rail. What if I drag him into the holding cell and then turn on the barrier. The barrier. The barrier for barrier? Blat indeed. Don't think I should get near him. Damn it! Now, this isn't our first time playing, so we knew this was coming up anyway, with or without the hint. Towel rail. Blat! Though, it turns out, there's giant cushions right below in the event someone falls down, so he's still safe. Angela's dead, there's no doubt at all of that. Well, just me and the boys then. Literally just me and the boys now. William, you in? No. Oh god. We're admitting to killing the captain. Just gotta sort out some things in here, huh? What about Barry? Is my roommate alright? He's not in here. Is he in the toilet? He's not in the toilet. Should I get my daily lunch? I'm not hungry at the moment. I still got this lunch. I'm not eating this covered. He's not even gonna get rid of it either. Just put it in the garbage chute, and then it'll get broken down and recombine into fresh food. It's a shame I didn't think to take Angela's key card so we could search her room. We didn't go to the communal deck yet. You know, fun thing, the stream's stable now, but even if it did break down, I finally figured out how to turn on the disconnection protection. I was looking in the wrong place and trying to find an OBS setting for it. It turns out it's a Twitch setting all along. I could have had that thing running for the longest time now. It's a simple on-off switch on the website itself. That's the only thing barring it. Can we upright the seat? Not sure how to implement that. Not my area of expertise. This is quite targeted, isn't it? First they got rid of the captain. Then they got rid of the commo girl. Then the first officer is neutralized. And so all we have is the engineer, the doctor, and the psychiatrist. Take the machete. Answer your true calling. We haven't seen Barry, have we? We saw William. William Badillium. Nobody's in observation. William did say he'll meet us in the meeting room 10 minutes. Adam not here. They took my wrench kit away. William, you gotta come out? You alright there, buddy? He'll be done in a minute. Done with what, William? No more toolkits on the desk for me to steal? He wouldn't be down in engineering, would he? What if Adam was also a victim of the walking berry corpse, and now it's just me and William? Well, he wouldn't be outside because we have his airlock pass. I don't think he has two of them. So he wouldn't be out here. Well, the one place I haven't checked yet is the captain's quarters, so maybe I just have to go there first. But to what logic? How about now that it's been long enough, we checked up on him again? No meeting. Nobody wants to show up to the meeting. Pods are all here still, right? Pods are all here. They decided the meeting could be an email, so they did that. And nobody thought to tell me. Well, I guess they would have, but I don't check my emails. Nothing of interest on the bookshelves. What if I use the stun gun on the door pad to blast it open? Six-digit override code to access intra-ship functions. You don't have a 6-digit code. Any news for today? Any email? No new emails. What about unstandard commands? No? Doesn't work? I'm pretty sure by now I've been everywhere there is to go. Bing bong. Done in a minute. How about... No chance the door's unlocked? Door's not unlocked. William, this is a holdup. It won't reply. Huh. Huh. Anybody hiding in the shaft? Adam? Adam's been hiding here. The bottleneck was not talking to Adam, cowering inside the shaft. Bitrate behave. Making progress isn't your go-ahead to start being unstable again. They didn't break anything out there, did they? No, they wouldn't have. You ready now, William? We found Barry. Barry, Adam, whichever. They both have A's in their name, alright? Oh, there they are. Silly me thinking the meeting would be in the meeting room. It's a line from Halloween. Subtle reference. Makes him feel like a proper writer. Yeah, what was your first clue? Four life forms on board, three after losing Angela. So not three after Barry's death and not three after Serena's disappearance? The key to the escape pod is held with the. Fuel it, warm up the engines, run a systems check. First, we have to assemble the lifeboat, and then we could use it. The gameplay over story problem. You keep saying that, Yahtzee! It turns out you can have gameplay that still fits within the internal logic of the game or logic in general. 6 hours notice to use the escape pod, no big deal. Leave me alone, I hate you. At least it's very self-aware with the shortcomings. Look, it's gameplay, alright? Leave me alone! And don't you dare touch that button. Don't you do it. Don't you push it. I'll push it. I'm not allowed to push it. I should probably also toss a save in. This is what, Friday? Because I do not want to repeat the last several days. Tuesday was the last save. All the way back in Tuesday. Is he in observation? Nobody observation. Is he in his office? Hey, Toasty. He's not in his office. Come here, baby. Whoa. Toasty, you're a ghosty Toasty now? You've been hit by the transparency filter, Toasty. I'm sorry to tell you that. Your opacity's down to like 30-40%. I thought you had 9 lives, Toasty. Does every time you step on your foot or your tail count as taking up one of your lives? Blood under his door? He still hasn't eaten his lunch. His lunch has been out here for like how many days now? By chance, is it open? Not open. We can't go from our bathroom to his bathroom? Maybe this is my sign then, that if there's blood coming out of his door, we assume he's dead, and we just try to go without him. There's no food for you there, Toasty, I'm afraid. Careful walking onto that shelf, Toasty. It's very flimsy. You want to go back to the stool? Let me get these cups out of your way, Toasty, so you don't spill them everywhere when you jump. No, don't you go putting your poo paws in my water, Toasty. I gave you plenty of water in your fountain. There you go, baby. Adam, bad news. We're going to assume him dead. Is the escape pod? Oh, I clicked the wrong one. I don't think Willie's going to be joining us. It could be the killer's blood. And then there were 2. Don't panic, Adam. We'll get through this. So William may or may not be dead. Is the escape pod ready? Been ready for hours. The security card is still in his quarters. Ah, behind a locked door at that. William could still be alive. 3 people are dead. Blood coming out from under his door. He could be wounded. Is there a way to open his door otherwise? Is it going to be the Captain Override? The console in Barry's quarter can override all security systems. We don't have the 6 digits. Maybe now that it's Friday, he'll have an email that has 6 codes waiting for us. Do you happen to know Barry's security code? Of course not. I could have searched for his access code the entire game, but no, we gotta wait till there's a reason to do it. Photos, nothing. You have 1 new email. How fortuitous. From Andrew Sarai to Barry Chahal. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The same code in my luggage. It was your birthday on Monday. Happy belated 55th, Andrew. We gotta do some math now. This is why we have the date command. The date command, 1st of August, 2385. This is Friday, right? Friday the 1st, 31st, 30, 29, 28. So we're looking at 07, 28, 2385, 2807. You thought the date command was to get a date with me. Sorry, Swedish guy, but we're too far away. Not even in the same hemisphere as Sweden. Let's see, 28, right? 07, 28. 2385, maybe? Wait. That'd be 8 digits. Plus, it wouldn't be 85 for his birthday. It'd be his birth year. Would be 55, they said, right? He's turning 55. So 07, 28, 30. He's really using his birthdays as password. Let's try month, day, year. Let's try day. Why do I keep pressing 9? Month, year. Withdraw radio mask for 5 minutes. Deactivate residential deck. Error. What does 3 get us? Nothing? Error. Alright then. Deactivate residential deck security. Since we have this code though, what would happen if I go back to an earlier day with the code in mind? If we go to Tuesday, say. Just for the sake of curiosity. Of course, I had to save all the way out here, so gotta do the whole undo the Eva stuff first. Then to the elevator. Then we could see if we could use a code early. All this to satisfy my curiosity. What am I doing? His keycard was down there. This is a save right before getting his keycard. Hold on, back to Tuesday. We gotta do all this all over again. Unclip. Reclip. Unclip. Alien Isolation was pretty fun with putting on a heavy suit and suddenly having all that weight and limited mobility. It reminded me a fair bit of playing Narcosis. Not the door. Give me the panel, the little thin panel next to it. Okay, let's see if I can't put in 280730 a few days early. Captain 280730. This isn't the Olympics, Cully. Cheaters don't prosper. Man. Fine, exit. At least it does get you a response. Alright, now to get that. Gotta get Williams's key. Let's check Serena's. It still won't open. Even with the security locks down for them all. So it was William after all then. Player had to get the access card manually, but that caused difficulties, so now he just gets it straight off. I could see that being kind of buried among everything else there. Serena's head. Still wearing her glasses. There's some guts in the locker. Part of a leg. See, the biggest hint that it was William was the fact that he doesn't have a roommate, and so he's got no one to check in on him. Severed limbs hanging from the top mattress, a body. Someone's trying to stitch a body together from the parts of 3 different people. See, Williams is just pissed off. He went through all that trouble to reassemble Barry, and what do we do but kill him off, and now he's got to go to work again? Making a new body? Some very precise work here. Very few carefully removed internal organs. Anything I could take with me? Not touching anything in here. Not touching anything in here. Hey, Jatelaires. Someone with the 7 Days of Skeptic category actually playing 7 Days of Skeptic? Really? 98% of the time, 7 Days to Die. That has its own category though, doesn't it? Not touching anything. Not even gonna bring it as a souvenir. What if I leave him some lunch? I'm not gonna eat this anyway. So if I leave this bloody lunch with the rest of this, in case William comes back. I don't think so. We got his card key. Make out with her. Nah, Swedish guy. She's currently besides herself. It'd be unethical. We have his access card. But I don't think his access card works as a key for his drugs cabinet. But every time you open the category, you expect to see someone streaming 7? Really? That is very bizarre, Jatillers. He just gives a I don't think so. So even though he could possibly access his drugs cabinet, he refuses. We all know what's coming though. Put a little safety save down. Phasmagoria category, being someone playing Phasmophobia. At least for those two, the names are pretty similar enough that I could see someone doing it by accident. Turn attention away from himself. Adam! It turns out Adam was a mastermind all along and William was but a patsy. Nothing in that locker but... Who was acting suspicious from day one. All they had to do was leave it floating in space, put a beacon down, let some other crew get haunted. A welding mask, leather apron, a machete, and a funny little wooden doll. And a letter. You didn't think this letter might have been important. To whom it may concern. If you're reading this, the box has been opened, you must understand that you're in extreme danger. Immediately after reading this letter, seal the box shut and flush it back into space. Adam? He reads this and thinks, nah, this couldn't be us. The evil must not be released in mankind at the time of writing. Agent of joint MI5, MI6 operation called Special Talent Project. Details of my post here will be on record with the British Secret Services. This is so far in the future. Does Britain still exist? My real name is classified information by my own request, commonly known as Trilby. Kind of the hub of his creative universe right now. The rest we wouldn't know. Not mainstream enough for us. In the year 1993, when I was a cat burglar, intimately involved what became known as the Defoe Manor incident, I, along with Simone Taylor, James Fowler, Philip Hardy, and a man called AJ, found ourselves trapped in Defoe Manor at the mercy of a wraith. After 5 days of the death of AJ and Hardy. Not a bad track record, 5 days, only 2 deaths. I was able to identify the ghost as that of Sir Roderick Defoe's stunted son. I was able to exorcise the spirit with the assistance of Taylor and Fowler, and Defoe Manor was destroyed by a fire. Returned to my thieving lifestyle, confident that Defoe was at peace. 1995, apprehended by the authorities, a return. We don't need your life story. Tell us about the ghost again. In the early months of 1997, I was brought news that Simone Taylor had been murdered at her home by an assailant wielding a large slashing weapon. Sensing a connection, immediately began my own investigation to the activity around Defoe Manor. It was as I suspected. Looters and trophy hunters had discovered the idol intact in the ruins of the mansion, and it was constantly changing hands in the antique networks. The idol was a crude African trinket, picked up by Sir Roderick on one of his many adventures in 19th century Africa. When Sir Roderick used it to beat his unwanted son to death, it became the vessel for John's confused soul. In the mansion, merely touching the idol would cause a person to be possessed by the wraith, mindlessly murdering everyone they encountered for as long as the possession lasted, usually a couple of hours. Calling in some favors, I had the idol brought to me, heavily sealed in protective casing. It had to be destroyed, that much was clear. I considered burning it, but I deemed it too risky. The evil could have remained in the ashes, spread out over a wider area. He's read his manga, realizing that mankind would never be safe as long as any trace of John Defoe remained on Earth. Fortunately, an unmanned space probe is set to be launched in September of this year, assigned to explore the outer regions of the solar system. I have placed all of John Defoe's artifacts in a metal coffin and persuaded NASA to send it off into space with the probe. As soon as I finish this letter, I will seal it into the coffin with everything else and have that package shipped to Cape Canaveral. Imagine if we did end up having a first contact situation, and whatever alien ends up cursed by this ghost, they'll think so little of us. That'll be like a hostile act of intergalactic war. No matter what year it is or how advanced you believe you are, do not attempt to combat John Defoe. He cannot be destroyed by conventional means or reasoned with on human terms. Eject him back into space immediately. And tell no one of your discovery. That's the one part Adam actually listened to. The tell no one else. And not all the other parts about actually ship this. Yeah, why didn't you shoot the box back into space? It's just a very elaborate prank from 1997. Closed the box, left everything how it was, went back to bed. Maybe it wasn't Adam directly. He did close it, didn't touch the idol. I'm sure everyone had the same nightmares. Okay, what do we do? There's a lever. And there we go, game over. I couldn't quite hover my cursor over it fast enough. 2 deaths for the game. Oh, this means you gotta watch everything all over again. You know, it's all well and good that the letter's on the inside. They did put a plaque on the outside, right? What if they just carved a whole bunch of do not open, hazardous, do not open, danger, 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 all over the outside too, top, bottom, left, right? Could I kick it? Oh. The timer was still going with my inventory verb menu open. We're gonna stack a whole lot of deaths here then. In true Sierra style, what I should do is put a save right on top of the hanging on for dear life part. And then every time I reload the save, I'll have like 1/4 of a second to move my cursor before game over again. Who amongst us hasn't put a death save down? Lever closed. In theory, John kicked the lever that closed the hatch. Animated all this before realizing John's body wasn't long enough to achieve that. The game's still better than Adventures of Fatman. Shots fired! Whatever complaints people have for it, I could always ask them if they feel they got their money's worth. Hey, Hordian! RetroArch has an undo save state feature. Oh, that's no fun! Part of the thrill of Sierra games is there's always the risk of accidentally putting a death save down and either having to go back half an hour, restarting everything. Bitrate behave. He's really sorry for this, but he's still gonna do it. It reminds me of my mother's behavior. Ben, are you serious? Family has a lot of cool stories like that. He was actually dropped in his head as a baby, it's true. Okay, but real talk, the big secret is... Who wasn't? What's on the trolley? Nothing's on the trolley right now. My chair. Therapeutic massage chair. Spends a lot of time here, the captain does. I could wiggle in it. Could I wiggle enough to get loose? The straps have loosened a tad. I guess I'm lucky that my biggest exposure to Sierra games is mostly Leisure Suit Larry 3, Passionate Patty, in Pursuit of the Pulsating Pectorals. For whatever reason, as anti-game as Dad was in most of our upbringing, that was one of the few games on his work computer, and one of the games he trusted us to play. Bizarrely enough. Like, I'm not talking about, like, in later years. I'm talking about from, like, toddler years onwards. Scalpel. Not much I can do with it. Wiggle some more. Left hand free. Then stab him in the leg. And that's it. That's the entire day. That was the entire day. So maybe I can fit 2 games into a single stream day. The day is getting progressively shorter from the start. A reflection, 7 days may have been too many. Well, he can't lower the scope. Imagine if he goes from 5 days to 4. Then you really won't be getting your money's worth. Boom. Have they got a neighbor now? His eyes gone. Is this he needed eyes? Is this a reference to Event Horizon? Ah, there we go. We most definitely do not bring up the film Event Horizon. But was it? Yeah, it wasn't his fault. He just, you know, touched an idol, started killing people to make a body. Lure him outside the ship. There is a command in the captain override to turn the war chase action, to turn the mask down for 5 minutes. And everyone complained about it because, oh, I missed that bit at the end. For your lucky special people, an early warning system lets you know if a monster will appear in the room, you jerks. I could always turn that off at the F10. Where's my original stun gun? I had another one. Save. We're up to Sunday now, are we? Anything else on him? How about we give him a taste of his own medicine? Carve him up? Man, when's the last time we've eaten? We've had the bloody lunch for a few days now. And the dispenser only lets us have one lunch at a time. The game's been quite clear about that. Let's search the rooms, just in case there's anything useful in here. We turned off the thing, though. I guess the security overrides back on then? Or back off? What was it? 280730? No emails? I have one new email. Hold on. Oh, it's the same email as 2 days ago. Andrew got no response back. And so he's just been emailing the captain every single day. $280730? Okay. Well, 1, deactivate residential deck security. And then withdraw the radio mask, 5 minutes. I think I could hear footsteps. I could hear footsteps. Gonna have to chase after me, jerk. I turned off the security, I did. So I guess it just doesn't work then. You better not come from in front of me. No, you jerk! Completely empty. We haven't found the idol itself. No more music. How lucky that it's launched me all the way out here. And even automatically puts the clip on. Just couldn't be arsed to have him chase you in this room, don't tell anyone. You folks didn't hear it here, tell nobody else. It's all our secret now. Hey, what are you doing? You're supposed to go across here. Stand on the big X. Oh, idol! That's why I wanted to open up people's rooms. Because I forgot where I got the idol. Took ages to make it work properly, so I don't know how it comes off visually. Did it just have the body explode or something? Maybe if he had the spikes go through the body. Right now, it looks like he's just laying on a bed of nails, as comfortable as could be. And then final bit. Bye, John. And hey, right on schedule. Charisma's a name you made up on the spot. No, you didn't. The word existed long before this. I promise it did. Like my subconscious got so much of it. Could I speak to it? Just shout really loudly from across the way. Pew pew pew. No, doesn't think so. You think it was silly Swedish guy? I think it was exciting. Though doing a bit of Benny Hill around the around the mast holes was pretty funny. I like to click through your character in this one. Like if I have the cursor over here, it's not just how to interact with myself, like in 5 Days a Stranger. It ignores the character sprite and just looks at the stuff behind him. Soul Survivor, we're hiding out. And there is a patchwork corpse in the mast, so that's evidence. Sure, totally. Amazing what some space diet and space exercise can do. That's okay, Yahtzee. I thought this ending was cool too. There's plenty of foreshadowing. Even dumb teenage me saw the foreshadowing. Internet is sometimes just wrong, alright? It's okay. Head pat, head pat. He just wanted to go to space. Poor guy. Can't see any other conclusion. That is the most logical course of action, is it not, Captain? Hmm. Watch the box carefully. Keep watching. They've all seen the hand Yahtzee. It's okay. Another Chisel game out of the way. And so far, they seem to have taken an average pace of about 3 hours to finish. There's also... So, we got to see the game with full commentary start to finish. There's also Easter eggs and outtakes. Let's look at the Easter egg first. The following Easter egg could be found by playing to the end of the game on May 24th, his birthday. Warning spoilers. Mm-hmm. He's actually doing his job as a psychiatrist. That's pretty inconsiderate of Papa. I mean, what other materials did he had? down in the basement, dirt or his own excrement, boogers is a step up. How about outtakes? I do enjoy a good outtakes reel now and again. This is what happens when they don't stick to union actors. Is Days of Our Lives still around? That used to be on the television all the time when I would go to mom's work and it was on in the lunchrooms. It was either Days of Our Lives or some Filipino soap operas. Oh, they let some chuckle fuck onto the set. Oh, I didn't notice the idols over there on the bed by the body. Improvise quickly. We'll just pretend there's a scalpel the viewers aren't gonna notice at the resolution the game's normally at. It was a ghost, so there you go. Fair enough. What? No. The kids will get it. The kids understand space ghosts. A really stupid twist completely out of the blue. What if everyone hates it? Do you think do you think he made these outtakes after the public backlash? Well, there you go. That was 7 days. In my mind, I remembered it being longer and bigger than it was, but I think that's because, you know, teenage me playing it a long time ago, and especially playing it for the first time where I don't already have the flow of the puzzles in my mind, I guess would have taken me an entire day and not 3 hours to beat it. But given so far, 5 days it is about 3 hours, 7 days about 3 hours. There are some tricky spots, and it definitely helps where passing by the shadow in the reactor room is like, all right, I remember what this is for. So we can do, it's Monday now. Tuesday, for Trilby's notes. Wednesdays for 6 days. And then, what was it? Go away, Death Counter. The Consuming Shadow, I do want to do. We could probably devote Halloween Day to that. That'd be a fun build-up, wouldn't it? The Chizou Mythos games for the week leading up into Halloween, and then for Halloween itself, we can do the little roguelike that he made that incorporates several elements from these games into the into some of the elements of it. Which means for a pace like that, we are basically done for today. Short stream, but it works out because these are short games. And one per week will put us on a pretty decent schedule, in fact. If we keep this up, if Thursday is clear enough, we might even get to play Art of Theft. I do want to replay Art of Theft, because if there's one thing we've learned this year, I'm also a sucker for some stealth games now and again. It might not be directly related to Chizou, but it is a Trilby game. Trilby games are also pretty good. So question becomes now, who are we going to raid today? We got Anza's on doing more Necess. Punchy's on doing Pokemon Legends Z and A. Turns out he's not the biggest of fans of it, but Punchy is always good times. I see nobody else is playing 7 Days of Skeptic. 462 followers for the category, but only 2 viewers. Where's the true fans of the 7 Days of Skeptic? I don't see them. It's just us. Maybe we're the true fans after all. Forget the 462 followers in the category. So, for now, I'm going to toss you guys over to Punchy. Thank you all for hanging out. Been enjoying going through these games so far. We'll enjoy more of them tomorrow. Stick around for the raid. Say hi to Punchy. I'll catch you guys again. So take care of yourselves, and I'll see you folks next time. Later.
To